Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video, I do a quick sketchbook painting. The idea was to use colors and paint with intuition. It took me around 20 minutes to do this practice. I wanted to use bright colors and not mix them much beforehand. I used colors such as New Cambodge yellow, bismuth vanadate yellow, Mayan orange, rose, phthalo turquoise, cobalt blue, and some self-made fuchsia. There was also a smidge of black in there, which I used in the only purple mix I made for the painting. The other colors for the purple mix were rose pink and cobalt blue. I was experimenting with different ways of making a video while I was painting this. I had my phone recording some real-time commentary for the painting process. I can't use the audio from my old video camera, as it has very loud buzzing sound that is really hard to edit out completely. However, I was a bit nervous while talking and painting in the beginning. While I tried focusing on painting, I noticed I had nothing to say. And while I was trying to focus on talking, I had trouble on focusing on painting. However, it is a skill I can become better at. I just need to find the balance between painting and talking, and I feel like a real-time chat about the process can be interesting. I want to document my honest thoughts, and I can maybe add something I forget during writing my voiceover. My critical thoughts arose while I painted. I am a very self-critical person, and when the criticism arises, I start seeing flaws when there is none. I have been practicing a more carefree, going with the flow type of attitude towards my art and life in general. And it's something I talk here because it's something I believe in. My criticism is silent as it happens internally. And a few times when I have voiced it out loud, I have been asked if I'm too critical of myself when there is no reason for it. I have learned to see when those thoughts arise, and I can see how wrong those thoughts are. This painting felt smothering despite all the bright colors, and it was probably due to me feeling a bit nervous. And watching the footage afterwards, I don't see this painting that way. It's the colorful painting I painted with intuition, and I see two very chill people in the sketch. Self-criticism can be silenced, even if it isn't always easy. Building confidence and believing in yourself is the key. The most important step is to learn to notice the thoughts and say no to them when they arise. And most importantly, not everything has to be perfect. Art is a perfect tool for expression, and in the end, there is imperfection in perfection too. When I was young, I created and I didn't care if the piece looked right or wrong. I just made the art for the sake of loving and enjoying it, and that's how things should be. Making art is a vulnerable process, and it can mirror something that's going on from good to bad days. Mood also reflects how we see our creations on a daily basis, and usually during the days when I am more tired or grouchy, I tend to be more critical. Vulnerability in art is another topic to speak about. Moments of vulnerability are seen in this sketch painting too, taking into account what I said earlier about my feelings. I think I'm going to speak about vulnerability in art as its own topic during another video, so stay tuned for that. I was thinking about leaving some blush to the cheeks on the right side of the painting. But when the colors started spreading, the area looked more like a pair of sunglasses. I continued painting the cheeks for the left side too. The left side needed some facial features, but I thought the nose looked too bold, so the painting transformed to another direction when I started blending the nose away. The blend still gives the face some features when I add a more subtle nose and a mouth. I used some horizontal lines for texture, and I wanted to leave the faces eyeless. I'm also using some complementary colors, yellow and purple, orange and blue. I let the brushstrokes blend themselves. The colors were allowed to form freely on the paper. Blue and orange formed some brown colors on the background. I think the mix of purple, black and brown calmed the piece a little bit. The colors won't take up much space, but they are enough to balance the colorful tones I used. I used some gold colors to bring some features forward as the colors I used previously are warm in tone. The sketchbook paper lightens the colors up when the color starts drying up, so the darkest parts of the painting won't be that dark, and water faded some parts too when the paint spread. My final thoughts for this practice is that it came at the right moment. I felt that I wanted to paint something with the flow and not think about the piece so much to let loose. And going into uncomfort zone with the microphone recording while I was painting helped to rise up some internal thoughts and topics to talk about. I will repeat the practice so I can push the comfort zones, and maybe we can have a video where we have some real-time comments about the works I'm painting or drawing. Even smaller practices do matter. Going into a discomfort zone will develop skills, and it's how progress is made. I have been practicing adding short comments out of the script to make speaking for videos more natural. I still need to write a script to stay on topic and have some structure to the topics. And to have something to read when I struggle with a sentence because my dyslexic brain ties the words into knots. But it's not going to stop me from becoming better at speaking English and practicing it as a skill. I have no problem writing in English or even thinking in English, but when I have to say sentences out loud, the struggle starts. Which might have been one reason why I was nervous at recording my speech while I was painting. I think it's important to know the areas that can be developed, and it applies in every skill. If you like the process you saw here or want to comment on your own experiences, please do so. And don't forget to subscribe if you like the videos I make. Thank you for watching.